I'm Dana K. White. I am the author of Decluttering at the Speed of Life, How to Manage Your Home Without Losing Your Mind. And I'm going to talk about giving ourselves a chance to learn things. I think so many times it feels like things are going to be really, really hard, and I don't know how to do that thing. And it seems like other people do this thing and it's overwhelming to me. And so I put off doing the thing because it's just too much, right? And so that in and of itself is paralyzing and keeps me from moving forward. And yet so many times, if I will just tell myself, you know what, Dana, I have to learn how to do this thing. It's okay for me to learn. So I go into the situation telling myself, I'm gonna give myself permission to learn how to do this thing. That might mean doing it wrong. It might mean doing it less efficiently than otherwise I would need to. But knowing that it's the first time and it's probably not gonna be perfect and I'm allowing myself to learn, is so powerful in helping me get started. So I have a guest with me today. I'm outside. I hope the wind is not messing up our sound too much. That's not my guest. You see, oh look. Oh, there's a good longhorn shot for you. All right, here's my special guest. It's my husband. So we've got cardboard to recycle. So I have shared many times, I live in a small town. We don't have access to recycling like everyone else does. We don't have any kind of recycling that picks up at our house. We used to when we moved here, and we don't anymore. So that's frustrating. But we did find out that there is a place in town where we can take cardboard to be recycled, right? And so we had a bunch of cardboard to be recycled. We gathered it up, we broke it down, we asked some friends, you know, like, is there anything special we need to know? And took it in. And actually, I say we, but my husband did. So come here, let's talk about it. So, were you nervous the first time you took it?
Yep.
What made you, I mean, I was glad you did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what made you feel nervous about it?
Well, just because we don't really have a recycling program. So is it something they really...
Are they going to laugh at you when you get there?
Yes. And why are you even here? Nobody recycles here. We just make this little container with...
And we had heard that it was like we'd heard kind of like where it is. It's at this Parks and Rec thing. Are they acting up back there? Mm-hmm. At this Parks and Rec kind of area. But did you know where to drive when you came in and all that?
Not really, but there actually are some signs. You have to wait for the assistant or whoever. You can't just start. You have to wait for them to come out. And the times I've gone, she comes out rather promptly, and sometimes there's been people already there, so you can just start unloading.
So the first time that you went, was it easier or harder than you thought it was going to be?
It was easier.
And how did that change your thoughts about being willing to do it in the future?
Well, I did it. Didn't get laughed at. In fact, I think she was rather impressed with how much we brought, because we brought a lot, and we made a statement. So, but no, once you go, obviously, just like we do anything, I knew the routine. I know the lady. The hardest thing about all of it was, you got big pieces of cardboard. Well, the little window is about this big, so you have to do a little extra fold or crunch down to get things in there, or just shove it in there. So it's not user friendly.
Yeah.
So anyway.
But now it's no longer the unknown, and yes. I feel like that's the issue, is the unknown is overwhelming and scary just because it's the unknown. It's not that big of a deal. Some of y'all are like, what is the big deal? Think back to the first time that you did something, especially if you're already kind of overwhelmed with this type stuff in general. Especially, I know at a stage in my life where I was overwhelmed with all my stuff and trying to go do the very best thing with things, and so that I didn't end up doing it. But giving yourself permission to say, I'm going to go through this as a learning process. I always recommend the same thing with, if you have a bunch of stuff that you're thinking, oh, I should I should really sell this stuff. You know, I've been told it's worth money, or we really do need the money, or whatever. And then so many times for people like me who get really overwhelmed, the stuff just sits there because you're like, oh, I need to sell that stuff. I don't know how to sell that stuff. So I always say, give yourself a learning experience. Pick one thing, go through the process instead of being the whole big overwhelming, you know, amount of stuff that you could sell. Go through the process for that one thing just as a learning experience. You might find out, oh, that's why people say they lose money when they try to sell something and they have to ship it because the shipping is hard to figure out. Whatever. That learning experience is so valuable because it removes the unknown. This is no longer unknown. So we're willing to do it more often. We're willing to do it without it being a big deal. It's like, okay, now I know that I could drop this off on my way to such and such. I know this is how long it takes. I can work it into a certain kind of a day. If you're feeling overwhelmed and stuck, like you can't keep going or you can't get started, if the issue is that it's the unknown that's overwhelming you, give yourself permission to learn. So, all right.
Okay.
I hope that's helpful. I'm done. I hope this works. Do y'all hear all those crickets? Is those crickets? Are those crickets?
No, I think those are. They're not locusts. It's not locusts. They're Katie did. What are they? Cicadas? Are they cicadas?
Sometimes you can hear the bullfrogs too.
Yes. At night.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, they'll get going at night.
Okay. All right. Bye, y'all.